Hello guys. It is currently about 6:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to go to work and look what I got, guys. It's an orchid. Obviously, it's seen better days. So here's the backstory. Our neighbors moved out months ago. I don't believe it was a good situation. They left, and a lot of things I think were left behind, and they were literally emptying their apartment. The company was emptying out the apartment. And some things were left, and this is one of the things that was left in the trash pile, this orchid. And you guys know I love houseplants. You know, I have my little house plants back there, and I show you guys updates on them all the time. They're happy back there. And at first, when I saw this plant out there, I was like, Susie, you know, leave it. It's, you know, dead, whatever. But I don't know. I went inside and I was like, I wonder if I can bring this plant back to life. You know, I mean, it looks very rough. I mean, the flowers are obviously, you know, the blooms are gone. The ends of it look really good. They actually do look really good. So I've got to kind of do a little bit of research and see what the best way is going to be to save this thing. But I am hopeful because these look green, and I'm hopeful. I think I can help it out. I really do. The roots are looking pretty rough. I did just water it. But, you know, honestly, they have a little bit of green to them still. They look rough. But I'm hopeful. And the leaves are obviously, you know, have seen better days. But they are not as bad as some that I have seen. I mean, I looked up some YouTube videos of some others that were like literally dead, and people brought them back to life. And I am truly hopeful that this plant may be salvageable. I wanted to get an orchid for a while. I've been wanting to buy one, and they're really expensive, and I just haven't been able to really get one. But obviously now it seems like I'm rescuing one. Let me just show you guys. The roots are pretty bad down in there. They're gray. And I just watered it. I had it sitting in a little water. I'm going to drain that water out here in a minute. But I was just kind of letting it get some kind of water, because it's been sitting in an apartment with the blinds closed. People have moved out months ago. The blinds were closed. It wasn't watered. So it's not like it was completely dead now, but it's definitely been neglected pretty badly. And I'm gonna have to go to work, so I can't sit and mess with it right now. When I get home, I'll mess a little bit more with it. But I'm gonna do some like researching on my phone, what I can do to help it. And I'm hopeful that it's gonna come back to life, and maybe I will have me a orchid that I literally rescued and brought back from the dead. So hopefully, let's be hopeful. So I thought this would be a fun video, part of my houseplant content, and I'm hoping that maybe you guys will be interested in it as well. I don't know if you guys have orchids, if you like orchids, but I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. I'm hopeful more so because the ends look green, and I'm really hopeful that it's hanging on to dear life. So maybe, just maybe, I can help this plant out. But yeah, when I get home from work, we'll mess around a little bit more with it and see what we can do, and see if we can save this plant. So if you guys are interested, this is gonna be a journey for me, but I think we can do it, guys. I think we can do it. So I'm gonna go on to work, and when I get home, we'll mess some more with this orchid. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey everyone, so I'm back home. Just got home from work. I don't even want to talk about the day. But we are gonna go ahead and figure out some more stuff with this plant. So first thing I want to do, I think, is I'm going to go get my little trimming shears for my gardening stuff, and probably my gardening gloves, and then we're going to kind of get down to it. Now that it's actually like a little bit lighter out and I got a little bit more light, the leaves actually don't look too bad. I mean, they don't look great and they are a bit floppy, but since I watered it this morning, they actually have kind of perked up a little bit and they actually look a tiny bit better, which is a good sign. And I'm also looking at the ends, and again, these look really good. I mean, I actually have some green ends, and this almost looks like it's trying to be a bud. So I don't think that this plant has been in there too long, dying. So that is a really good thing. I think it might actually be salvageable. So let me go get my shears, and then I will be right back. So sorry guys, I used to have some gardening shears. I don't know where those are. I was trying to look for them, but I didn't see them. So I've got some clean scissors. I haven't used these on anything weird, so I'm gonna just use these. So let's take a look. So first thing, obviously, these dead buds probably need to go, and they just fall right off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off. Actually, before I do that, let me take a photo. All right, so I'm gonna finish taking off the flowers. So these are dead. They're not coming back to life. They're dead. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off. You can kind of see like what it used to look like. This one is still kind of hanging on there, so I'm probably just gonna snip it off. And then, because these are gonna just kind of die and fall off anyways, so yeah. And when I cut these off, there's actually green, you know, inside of the little stem there. So that is a good sign. That means that it's not totally dead. That is a very good sign. It looks like it was trying to get some other flowers, and it was, you know, obviously dry and neglected, so it didn't have any more. There we go. So we'll just clip those because they're obviously dead. So that's good. Let's go ahead and take it out of this other pot. So I did water it this morning. This is a good sign. Look. This morning I watered it and there was no green at all. I looked in here and they were all this dark, just horrible looking color, just like this. But this actually is really good sign. Wow. That is a really good sign. You guys see the green? That is really good. That means that it's not totally dead. Yes. Now, some of these are dead. Like this right here. This is dead. This whole, like, rotten looking thing. This is dead. It's like a freaking gnat. Anyways, this is dead, and it does look a bit rotten. So I'm going to go ahead and probably cut that off. Let's see. I was trying to see if we could, like, take it out of this mulch thing. Might be better to leave it in there, but I am going to clip off this rotten root, because you can see that is black. That's root rot. Yeah, that is rotten. So I'm going to clip these ones that look like they're dead. Here's another one that looks like it's dead and rotten. It's looking better already. I can't even believe that there is green roots in there. That is such a good sign. Wow, that wasn't there this morning. That was not there this morning. That is fresh. Here's another. So this is these ones right here. And these also kind of look, you can see, kind of light green and kind of dead. I'm gonna say they're dead. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip them, because they're green inside, but they're dead at the ends. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make this executive decision to clip those, because I have so many good roots in here that are not, you know, dead. And it can always grow more roots. There's plenty of roots in there. All right, and that actually looks better already. Pick off these green bits. I'm just looking to see if I see any more that look dead or rotten. And there's like a couple in there that look like they kind of could be, but they're in there pretty good. So I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna make this decision to leave them. And also, I kind of can notice, and I'll show you guys better here in a second, that there's a new root coming out. So let me flip you guys around. Here is the green. You see it? That looks pretty good. That looks really good, actually. That's a really, really good sign. I don't know what that like brownish stuff is right there. I'm gonna have to look up and see if that is something that needs to be clipped away or what that is. But the roots actually look pretty good. It literally looked like, after I watered it this morning and left it in the sun, it literally looks like it is doing much, much better. Yeah. And then so here's how the top of it looks. So this is one of the ones I clipped, but if you can kind of see back in there, right here, there is almost like a fresh new root coming out. And then on this side, I believe, was one that had some like root rot. Or no, maybe it was on the other side that I clipped already. I can barely even tell where it was. But one of these sides, there was like a little one that had some root rot in it, and you could tell because it is black. See that? So that is rotten. But that one was already sticking out, so it actually looks a lot better. Now, you guys are probably like, why leave these old, you know, nasty leaves? So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna not do nothing else with it. I might give it just a little bit more water, and I'm gonna leave these leaves like they are, because what I read was that the plant will actually make new leaves. It'll start growing new leaves, and it'll use what it has to kind of absorb the sun and to generate new growth. So I want to leave what is there and not further traumatize this plant at this time, because they are still a bit green. And even though these may eventually turn brown and fall away, I'm thinking that a new set of leaves will start to come out, because it'll use what it has to absorb the sun. And then these actually don't look too bad. They're actually starting to turn kind of green again. And then I do have the new growth coming out. So I don't think it's totally a lost cause. I am going to probably leave it in this pot that it is in, because this is actually a pretty good little draining pot. And I'm gonna just put it back in this pot that it has. And yeah, I'm just gonna literally set it by the window. I'm gonna give it a little bit of water. I'm gonna kind of look into how often orchids like to be watered, but I didn't have to do much at all. I wasn't expecting this to be green this afternoon, because literally this morning it was gray, just gray and just sad looking. So I think that's a really, really good sign now that we have green. So I'm gonna do that, and I will show you guys where it is in its new home here in just a second. But that is such good news, such good news. Guys, so I got the orchid in its, I guess it's gonna be its home for now. I had to do a little bit of rearranging because I've got quite a few plants in this corner. It's literally the only corner in this whole apartment that I really have that I can put plants, because the other rooms are just too dark. So this is my big window, and they really like it here. So let's see what we got going on. So what I did was moved my fig down here. Let me turn you guys fig right here. I literally moved it just from right here to right here, and I think it's gonna still be okay. I didn't really have another stand, so temporarily I put it on top of an empty box, but I think it's gonna be okay right where it is. This fig plant it's growing, but it does grow very, very, very slowly, and it doesn't like to be moved. So I'm hoping it's not going to be a big difference. I literally just moved it from here to here, but the last time I tried to move it, it had a fit. So I'm going to just leave it in this area, but I just moved it over because I wanted to put this one on top of the stand, since it's just such a weird shape, you know, because it's like tall. And it's, yeah, so I just thought I'm going to put it right here, right on this little stand. And so I just gave it a little bit more water. It's looking good. And I did leave a little bit of water down kind of in the bottom, just a little bit, so that it could kind of drink as it wanted to, but just very little water. And in fact, if I see that the water is still kind of there later, I may end up tossing it, because I don't want it to sit in water all the time. I don't want it to get root rotten, but the roots are looking good. And the leaves, again, I'm going to leave them there for now, but these tops look really good, and I think it's going to get some really good sun right here where it is. I mean, it is kind of a weird place to put an orchid, but it's about all I have. All my other plants, they're kind of in spots where they don't really want to be moved. Like this one, I can't move it because it's going to have a fit. It likes it where it is, and I'm going to leave it where it is. And the fig is kind of the same way, so I don't want to mess with them too much, but that's where it's going to be. And I think right now it's doing pretty good. I did give it the water, and I got a little bit more water in there. So I think really it wasn't so much the lack of sunlight, it was the lack of water that really just, this plant was drying out. So now that it does have water, I'm hoping it's gonna start to perk back up again, and it's gonna hopefully look good. That's my plan for now with it. If you guys know anything about orchids, let me know your advice, because we got to get this thing back to looking great again, you know? Like, I mean, I want it to be pretty. I want it to get back to its former glory, you know? Like, come on now. We can't let this poor plant just wither. I'm going to give it a new home. I'm rehoming it in my home with my plants, and it's going to be happy. So I think it's going to be okay. I think it's really going to be okay. So we're just going to let it go. Now with these, I don't know, like, how long do you let them keep on, you know, growing? Do you trim these stems? I'm not sure. I've got to look kind of more into orchids and growing orchids, but for now, I think I just need to get it back to its former glory. You know what I mean? Just kind of get it back to where it needs to be. So let me know if you guys have any tips. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to film another update video. Probably once I start seeing some kind of change, if I notice anything, any new leaves, if any blooms start coming out, or I just want to give you guys an update, maybe here in like a month or so, because I think it's going to take a couple of weeks at least for this to get back to itself. But within the next month, I'll film another update, and I'll post it in my houseplant playlist. So if you guys are interested in this orchids journey, let me know. And again, if you guys have any suggestions and tips for growing orchids, please let me know. Look at that nice bright sun coming in through the window. Yes, the plants are like, yes, please. And look, you can see how green this one is in that sunlight. Oh, I'm so happy. It looks happier already, honestly. It really does. So, and then look at my Monstera. I mean, it is glorious. Glorious. Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to cut this video here, but I will update you some more. Again, let me know any tips, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.